You all are what we fondly refer to as the SWAT team. It is humbling to see all of you out here tonight and to know that there are hundreds more people of our dear SWAT team who are at home tuning in, glued to TVs, their Twitter feeds, and refreshing their computer every 30 seconds as they've done for the past few hours. Thank you to all of you who took the time to get invested in this race, to lean in and to care about the direction that we're going as a state, and to care enough to have those tough conversations with friends and neighbors, to march in a parade or put a sign out, make a phone call, or for some of you, hundreds of phone calls, to even change your voter registration to vote for Josh and I in this primary. We sincerely appreciate it. I've told many people that running for Lieutenant Governor was not on my to-do list this summer, and it wasn't even on my radar until Josh Swatty came into my life. But when Josh Swatty asked me to step forward and be his running mate, I thought about this state that I love so much and the frustration that I felt over the past 7.5 years. And I looked at my daughters and my parents, my husband, my friends and coworkers, neighbors and community members, and I knew that we could do better for this state. With the right leader, we could start to rebuild this. And I saw a leader with a clear vision for the future of this state in Josh Swatty, and I have been honored to step forward and to lead with him. Being governor, means being a servant leader, and it means getting out there and taking the time to listen to people, and it means putting in the miles, not just to see 5 counties, but 105 counties. And it means sacrificing time with your loved ones and your families. And Josh has set that example for me. And he set the tone for all of the other candidates to embark on not a 5-county tour, but a 105-county tour. It would be that he set the tone that this would be about things that we have in common, that we are from here, that we are Kansans. We can and we should all be proud to be Kansans. We have addressed issues that we need to address, and we will, but our campaign has not just been about solving problems. Our campaign has also been about changing the narrative so that people everywhere can stand up tall and say, I am proud to be from here. It's about highlighting and leveraging the incredible assets that we have as a state, from our natural resources to our incredible industries to our hard-working people, many of those people who are sitting right here tonight. We all know how important this race in November is going to be, and the stakes are high, which is why I cared so much to step forward, and I know that you all deeply care as well. And the outcome of tonight does not dampen our spirit. In fact, it sends a signal. It sends a signal to all the people of Kansas that Kansans do care. And I know that I will continue to push and to rally people to champion behind positive change in this state. And I am confident that Josh Swatty will continue to be a great servant leader for the state of Kansas.
People that believe we have the greatest lieutenant governor in the state of Kansas. Across all parties. And what an incredible find. And I think that was one of the joys of this campaign. And as I look at that map, which so does not look like the map we wanted it to look like, it still demonstrates some real moments of joy and some counties where we know people put everything they had into finding us votes, and some moments of success that we did not anticipate, and it's so great to see them on the map. That being said, there's also some counties on there where I know people poured in hours and hours and hours and days worth of effort, and the votes simply did not come out the way we thought it would. And so that's politics. And that's what it is. But what I want to talk to you about tonight, and this is kind of fun because we've been at this for 16 months now, and I've heard the same couple of questions almost at every stop, and rarely had the chance to talk about one of the passions that I really have, which is water policy. And so I wanted to talk about what constitutes navigable waters of the United States here as we close out this campaign, because it's really fascinating to be considered navigable waters of the U.S. They take the determination of that body of water, that river, or that stream, based on the time of statehood. So what was that river like, or that stream like, in 1861? Which is why I love this, because the Arkansas River, its statehood, ran all the way from Cowley County all the way out to the Colorado border. So the entirety of the Arkansas River is in navigable waters of the United States, which is really funny for anybody that lives in Dodge City or Garden City, because when you're out there and you drive over the river, there's nothing there. I mean, it's so bad, they use it to mine sand, and then guys drive their four-wheelers on it because it's a fun sand recreational area. There's nothing there. But that's not entirely true. There's water there. It just doesn't have enough to rise to the surface. It's down there underneath the sand. It's getting pushed from behind, and it's getting pulled by gravity all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. It's there. It's just waiting before it has enough power and enough water behind it to rise to the surface again and be a river and do what rivers do. And when I think about this campaign and when I think about what we did, I feel like the navigable water of the United States, the Arkansas River in Dodge City and Garden City. You look at parts of this state and you'd see there's nothing there. You shouldn't campaign there at all. There's absolutely nothing there, but you scratch below the surface. You dig a little into the sand and you see it. It's there. It's moving. It's water. It's people. They feel it. And they don't care if you have a 5-point plan for rural economic development in their community. They just want you to know where their community is. And they want to know that you know that people live there. And they're trying to live their lives there and build an economy there. And we've met that and worked that around the state. And one of the joys of running a great statewide campaign is getting to meet all of those people and hearing all of those stories and having them respond to you so well and having them work for you so hard all across that state. And I've got to say, the numbers certainly don't show it, but we felt an incredible amount of response from people all over the state of Kansas, and that's borne out by many of you here this evening, a lot of you from Topeka, but a lot of you drove a long way to be here, and we feel that, and we felt it across the entire campaign, and we were so proud to carry that message forward, to be a campaign that talked about every single community, every single individual, every single Kansan that had felt disenfranchised or not listened to by either party or sensed that government simply wasn't working for them. We tried to reach them, and honestly I felt that we reached them very well. So I have called the Kelly campaign. We've conceded. I've congratulated her, wish her well in this campaign, but I also just really more than anything tonight want to thank all of you. This has been a long journey for all of us, even Katrina, who we were so thrilled to join this campaign 3 months ago. 3 months can be a long journey when you're doing a statewide campaign. So it's been long, many hours, many, many miles for all of us. And we have been buoyed, we have been pushed along, we have been helped by every single Kansan that has shown us incredible love and incredible support across the entire state. I do have to say, there are some in particular that have done so much for us. Many of you are volunteers here in this room this evening. You put in a huge amount of your time and your effort. You put your names on the line. You worked for us in your respective counties and your regions, and we so thank you for everything that you do. Our team that worked so hard, all for months and months and months, against so much. We fought so much against an establishment, against a party, against headwinds that were against us at all times, and they never lost faith. and they never got down, and we had a great time all the way up until last night as we were coming back from our long drive around the eastern part of the state, having a great time discussing what sort of music might play tonight. We have assembled the single greatest team we ever could have, that believe in this state, and they're going to fight for this state, and they will continue fighting for this state no matter who is on the ballot in November, because we all understand how high the stakes are. And then finally, I have to thank in particular the giant network that even the Kansas City Star has written about, the people from Ellsworth, the people that make up my family, that talk to their friends, talk to their neighbors. They did so much for this campaign. My immediate members of the family did so much for this campaign. And in particular, and those of you that have ever run for office know this, the immediate members of our family that give up so much during a campaign. And this has been a long 16 months for us. We had an additional child in the meantime. We started with 3 and we now have 4. We have the 4 most incredible children in the world. They are understanding and smart and will now forever ace every Kansas geography quiz they ever did. But then in particular, and I know Katrina would say the same thing about Tyler, my wife Kimberly, everything that she's done in this campaign, pushed me, criticized me when I needed to be criticized, which is often. I made the joke when I told her earlier, I said, you know, I'm going to get up, honey, and say, my wife Kimberly can be my best critic and also my best critic. But Kimberly intuitively sensed when I needed support and when I needed help, and she would always step in. And after 11 years of marriage, I think we both understand that we are a great complement to each other. We understand each other. We understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. And I absolutely could not have done this without her and her helping the entire way. And at the end of the day, even though this evening did not end up the way we thought it would end up, we still feel like we ran the most positive, most uplifting, most exciting campaign across the state of Kansas. And we brought a lot of people into politics that have not been involved in a long time, and we did it in innovative ways, and we will always look back on what we've done and say we're proud of that. We're proud of the team we've built, and we're proud of the message that we carried across the state of Kansas. So thank you. I ran 4 elections before, never had to concede before, so this is a new one for me. But I love the state of Kansas so much that we all know what we have to do as we move forward now into the general election 3 months from now. This is a critical election for the state of Kansas. And as I say that, and as I close out my remarks, I see one more county in the middle of the state that goes purple for Swati Lewis. We will never ever forget where our base is, and it's largely where Bohemians live. But we are so thankful to all of you and thankful for this great campaign. And all of the work that everyone's put in, and we just wish the very best for the state of Kansas now as we move forward, not with us on the ticket, but move forward in fixing what we all know needs to change, and the next generation that needs to step up and truly lead the state of Kansas. Thank you so much.